Well, Wednesday is the start of fall camp, and we've got some position battles got to look out for. I mean, quarterback is the obvious one, but from Justin Smith himself at touchdown Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
uh, we do need to keep an eye on left guard because we gotta make sure we're on top of that. We
Mm-hmm.
make sure our offensive line's looking good. Then we're really good to go.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Now I'm gonna tell you what, Jack. They're gonna make that quarterback battle. I'll give it 7 days. I'd be surprised if it goes 10, and they'll name the starter. So that battle will be over real quick. They're going to get to some continuity with it, and they're not going to, keep people talking and everybody's spitting out their opinion and stuff. So they'll settle that within the first week to 10 days, and then the other, I think too, a lot of the other stuff will be. A lot of times, there's only one or two positions that go into fall that have not been claimed. Spring practice, usually in the spring, most positions are settled. Maybe two or three in the fall, but give it a week, 10 days, and everything will be. You'll have your depth, you'll have your starting lineup. They'll go in the first game, and things change after the first game. Sink or swim.
but well, I know we're keeping an eye on that QB situation, and
Definitely,
it's
definitely.
and Ty Simpson is the front runner
Mm-hmm.
unless
It is to
something's
lose.
changed.
It is to lose, and deservedly so. I think he deserves the opportunity. I'm gonna make a prediction. Unless health or injuries or something, I think that guy's gonna have a breakout year.
Oh yeah,
Really do. Feel really good about him.
and we've got punter. That's a position we have to really look out for because our freshman punter missed the entire season,
Yeah, he was.
and
Yeah, injuries.
Coach DeBoer says he's really coming along. He's an athlete, strong kid. Seems like his recovery process is going well. We expect him to be cleared and be a part of the competition.
Yeah, all right. That's good to hear. That's one of those
And
unsung positions. I mean, every position's important, but that's one of the doesn't get all the glam and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, very important.
well, because I think about like the 1970s in the NFL where like the Raiders, they were drafted Ray Guy to be their punter, and Davis saw something that no one else did. And
And
everybody's like, what? You're drafting a punter really high? Well, it worked out
yeah,
for the Raiders. So it's
now
like you should always pay attention to special teams
exactly.
because yeah, because it's like your quarterback can always help it. You can have the best team ever. But as we've seen in the years, like throughout the last decade, if you don't have a really good kicker or a really good punter, you're going to be in trouble.
Oh, exactly. And Ray Guy, if memory serves me correct, he was out of Southern Mississippi, and you'll have to double check me, Jack, or people listening can double check me. But I think he's the only punter that's in the Football Hall of Fame, the Professional Football Hall of Fame. And that guy,
Yeah.
he was a guy that could flip the field, which is what you want. You want two things: one that can drop it at the goal line, and then another that can flip the field. And Ray Guy was the guy that could flip the field. And if memory, I may be wrong. There may have been. I know there's been a bunch of kickers, place kickers, field goal. But as far as punters, if memory serves me correct, Ray Guy out of Southern Mississippi, I think he's the only one that made the Hall of Fame.
Huh?
So
He's
we'll
still
find out.
he's still the only punter in any Hall of Fame for
Yeah,
college football and pro football. So
there
that's
you
huge.
go. Mm-hmm. That shows you how much of a weapon he was. So, guy kickers out there, everybody always wants kickers, place kickers, and all that kind of stuff because they get the glory at the end of the game and things of that nature. But punters sometimes get lost in the mix.
Well, and I'm looking at this guy Blake Dowd that we got. He's going to be competing for the punter position. He's from Colorado School of Mines,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm curious to see what he can bring to the table. I mean, I think he's going to be fine.
Yeah, I haven't looked at him. Um, uh, there's two types of punters, in the Australian, kickers of late have gotten a lot of notoriety. But there's the old type where great punters could. I mean, when they hit the ball off the foot, I mean that thing would spiral. And it was like just high arcing pass. I mean, it would just spin, spiral, spiral, spiral. And then, but now we're kind of the where they're kind of wanting to knuckleball the ball down the field so that when it lands, it pretty much you don't get the crazy roll, or maybe sometimes they try. You can there's so many different ways in which they can generate the backward move in the ball coming backward, the ball rolling forward, and that kind of stuff. But back in the old days, it was just coming off the foot. That ball, I mean, it was just be a tight spiral, and be interesting to see the punters there in Tuscaloosa, which way style, whether it be the rugby or the Australian rules football or the spiraling guy. It'll be interesting to see what type they go with.
Oh, agreed, no doubt about it. It's like I want to see what happens with our punter position. Like I want it to look really good.
Yeah,
And another position we're gonna have to keep an eye on is defensive tackle. Is like Tim Keenan the third's coming back to resume his role as nose tackle.
yeah,
Who's
nose.
lining up next to him is the question between James Smith and Edric Hall.
Yeah.
Edric Hill, my bad. Why did I say Hall? Anyway.
Well, I think what you would like is like Cody, Mount Cody, somebody that knows that can occupy two offensive linemen. One, just center. One person can't block them. And I think Tim Keenan's going to have that opportunity. They're going to have to go, probably at times double team. And I think because he can go, if you go one on one with him, I think he's going to rule the roost with regard to that. So if he can take on, and that's why a lot of times that gets washed under the all the discussion is how important, like Mount Cody was so important for Alabama because he occupied two offensive linemen instead of just one. And so that frees everything up. And so I think Tim Keenan's going to be able to do that. And so the other guys should hopefully, I'd look for which one I'd go with, whichever one has the first arm movement and speed with the feet. That'd be the
Oh
guy
yeah.
with speed with the feet and that arm. And hopefully Keenan can occupy space
Oh
there in the
yeah.
middle. And I think he will.
And of course, there's the second running back for 2025. Who's going to be lining up behind Jam Miller? Are we getting Richard Young to line up behind him, Daniel Hill, or Dre Washington? Now, it would be pretty
I'd
cool if we could. I want to see all these guys line up against Florida State because, I mean, it's like you've heard it mentioned on this show this time, like throughout the last several months, throughout last season. You heard us talking about the running game is key. That's what
Mhm.
helped us against LSU, what helped us against Georgia, what helped us Missouri. And
Auburn.
if we're having 200 to 255 yards, rushing yards per game, we're good to go.
Mhm. I would say Richard Young is going to be, uh, with Miller, Young will be the next man in, I think, and then whatever the other guys what happens is you earn your opportunities, you earn your carries, and that means when it doesn't necessarily mean how many yards you make, although most people think that's it, but it's can you read when you're running the ball? Can you read blocks? Do you set up blocks, all that kind of stuff? That enhances your number of carries that you're going to receive and what coaches are looking for. A lot of people think, well, it's just whatever number of yards. No, it's how you read and see, and then of course block. I mean, you're not going to be handling the ball every down. So what are you doing on the off downs and stuff like that? So that's going to be the key factors. And I think I think it's going to be Miller, and I think Richard Young. I think those two are going to be the first couple of games. It's going to be on them. And I'm hoping first play of the game against Florida State. I hope we. I don't know. I don't care. But I hope the first drive we try to at least run the ball.
Yeah, because we didn't run the ball enough last year.
No. And of course, offensive line. I don't. Maybe they could. I don't know. It was horrible.
It was terrible.
Yeah. It was. No doubt.
It,
So.
it is work. It's way worse than watching those rom-com stuff. It's like, that was depressing right there, like a running game. But it won't be this year. We're not
No.
going to be depressing.
Mm-hmm.
So
We'll see.
we're going to get things rolling. Like I am so ready for 2025 to start. I am so ready for it.
Yeah, we'll learn a lot that first game. A lot to be a good opponent, and then we'll see where what the depth is and that kind of stuff. That's where we'll probably this season will be the biggest indicator of that first game.
Oh yeah,
I think it's going to parlay the rest of the season. I hope it's a good one, and I hope it just steamrolls the rest of the season. But we'll see.
yeah. But we'll definitely wait and see what happens.
Yep.
I'm just getting excited thinking about it.